first time I met a friend who said, "You got to pray for me because I lost my house." I had no clue what he meant by that, and then as I began to understand, oh wow, you had debt to such a degree that you couldn't pay your payment, that marked me as a young man.
The stresses of being a single mom when your financial picture is a mess are heavy, because for me it meant working extra, and then I didn't have time to be home, number one, and number two, when I was home I would be really tired because my job is very demanding, and I was just missing out with my son, you know, with the time that I could spend with him and build into him.
We had what the vast majority of Americans would call a very good life. Had a nice house, nice cars, nice vacations, money in our pocket, you know, and we just worked too hard and didn't really have a life outside of that.
I knew that something wasn't right, and so did Charlie, and we had talked about it. We knew that something was missing. And really, personally, I was starting to pay a really big toll to just working all the time and being away and being isolated. And that didn't stop us. I think to stop the pain there, we built a bigger house, went on more vacations. But knowing that we missed something, we looked to church.
My church offered the Good Sense seminar, and being a new believer, I was hungry to learn and to grow. And I went to the seminar, and it was through what I learned at the seminar that the lights went on and my life began to change.
When I married Bob, he said, "Okay, we're going to have a budget, and I need you to keep track of your receipts in this." And I went, "Ugh, yuck." But I've learned through that why that's good, and then that has given us financial freedom as far as we know where our money goes, we know how much we have. After the budget seminar, I spent some time the next couple of weekends putting together all of our expenses for the prior year and categorizing them, etc. And then Diane and I sat down and started working them over. And gradually, over a period of time, the heat went out of those meetings and we were able to get on the same page and start making unified financial decisions.
When I realized that I could make a goal, and my first goal was to pay off my debts, then I had a reason to buy a coffee pot and have coffee at home and to cook more and stay at home. I had a motivation to do those things that could change how I spent my money.
We also learned more about what was really important to ourselves and to each other, and some communication skills that we had never developed before. So the second benefit of the budget seminar was that we literally learned how to manage our money and better manage our marriage and to communicate, and became partners.
I had achieved my goal. The first year was to get out of debt, and I had achieved that goal. And also, I might add that I started tithing, which I had never done before. In the second year, my goal was to be able to work part-time. I'm a flight attendant, and my company offers a rotating part-time 6 months on, 6 months off. And my goal was really to be able to do that so that I could be home more with my son, who was about 4 years old at the time. So I set up the budget, and I was able to, in September of that following year, to work part-time for 6 months and be home with my son.
We were able to, through adoption, add a very precious boy to our family this year. Couldn't have paid for that, you know, if there wasn't savings over time that would allow us to do that.
Financial foolishness is a real burden. It's just heavy, and you're drifting with no direction. It just brings you down. And financial freedom is light. It's like the weight is lifted and you have freedom. And people think that budgets bind them, but they really don't. You have the freedom to choose now how I'm going to use these resources that have been given to me.